Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Ledger is currently offering up to $50 worth of free Bitcoin with the purchase of a number of their crypto storage devices. This is a limited time offer and I believe it ends in like a day or two. While I do not work for Ledger, I am an affiliate and have an affiliate link in the description below for those of you who want to protect your crypto and also want some free Bitcoin. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So, I mean, it was I guess really only a matter of time before this was going to happen. One of the gigantimous annoyances that I have personally with the cryptocurrency, and no. It's not even with the cryptocurrency space. It's people who are outside the space who've been inside for a while. You'll understand. Back in the olden days, back in the 2013s and 14s and 15s and 2016s, every institution made sure to badmouth crypto. We now know that the reason they were doing that is because they were allegedly, probably, buying cryptocurrencies for themselves. We've seen this in a multitude of multimillionaires and billionaires who came out of the woodworks in 2019, 2020 to talk about how amazing Bitcoin was, and then you literally find old articles from them from 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and you see them bad-mouthing the space, talking about it's terrible, awful, horrible, only criminals are using it. I just saw something recently, this just popped into my head. I don't even remember what it was. There was a video I was watching on Instagram, and it was some kind of like investor talk, like that kind of thing. And they were asking this guy how he felt about Bitcoin's rise in price. The delusion, is this what they were asking him, how he felt about Bitcoin's rise in price and the halving was coming up, and he was like, I don't know much about any halving thing that's going on, but I've seen equities performing really well, and I know that the price of gold, and I was like, you're doing everything in your power to lie to yourself. Like, you are making sure that there's no reality anywhere floating around you. So now we have a situation where the institutions are here. They've been here for a while, but now on paper, they're here. The ETFs have been performing exceptionally well. If you missed the news, it's about 2 months ago. Time is flying by. 2 months ago at this point. The Bitcoin ETFs, especially the one from BlackRock, once again, is, I believe, the best performing ETF ever. In its first month, it outperformed 99.98% of all other ETFs ever. Like we had multiple charts. It said out of 10,000 ETFs, even now, currently on the market, BlackRock's Bitcoin spot ETF has still exceeded all of them. We've had news after, not only from old man Gary Gensler, but also from a number of other market participants who are quite well known for ETFs and mutual funds and things like that, that they don't want Bitcoin, they don't care for Bitcoin. And I sit there and I'm like, we know you have economic analysts who look at markets and look for the best ways to make profit. We know that you know how to count. We understand that the number 3 million is higher than 2. Just, logic that is to say Bitcoin is up by 3 million% in the last 15 years. Not a fake number. So when this news popped up, I was like, I don't know if we're supposed to be shocked, if we're supposed to clap for them or be like, oh, thank goodness, finally they're in the market. Because it's like, you and I, me and you, we know what's going on. Why do we continuously, always, I don't know what the narrative is, why we constantly have to have news that rich people now accept us, and it's in some way supposed to make us feel better? According to Eric Balchunas, Bloomberg's leading ETF analyst, financial giant BlackRock has updated the list of authorized participants on their Bitcoin ETF. And there are a lot of new big names who are floating around the market. They include first-timers such as American multinational hedge fund Citadel, investment banking giant Goldman Sachs, Switzerland-based investment bank and financial services company UBS, as well as major investment bank Citigroup. These are now institutions who are now raising their hands saying that they now want to get access to and they are interested in the Bitcoin ETF space. According to Balchunas, these authorized participants could have been on the list earlier, but they were ashamed. They were ashamed of being associated with the product before its launch. However, now that BlackRock's ETF has ended up being a stunning success, they are more comfortable with being identified as authorized participants. These people annoy me. And I'm going to try not to use the term they make me sick, but it's literally on the cusp. It's just about right there. The idea that you would have to lie about being ashamed, or that there was we've also seen this before. This has been constant. We've gotten news like this over the years, that there's so many people in our market who were afraid of the perception from their clients that they might be getting into something crazy and these clients might leave them. And it's only when they see the magical, awesome power of the cryptocurrency space and they see another company, I told you this before, when they see another company making billions of dollars, that's when they go, we love Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been around for a while, and don't look at the old news about us. But we've been Bitcoin lovers for a while. And it's like, why the lies consistently over and over? It's always that someone has to make a lot of money and then other people begin to pay attention. That's what I was saying before, for those of you who didn't get the reference. Years ago, there were always instances of us getting news, whether it be about MicroStrategy or Novogratz, whatever company it was, making money within and I mean money, big money within the space. And that's when we got like Kevin O'Leary and all these other people being like, well, crypto's for criminals, but when I use it, it's amazing. And it's these kind of like, you constantly like shun our space, not understanding any of it. You see that other people are making money, and this is when you decide to jump in, and it's like, it's just very cringy. It's very, very cringy. As reported by the website You Today, it took BlackRock only 7 weeks to reach $10 billion in assets under management, which is a brand new record. Yes, very popular news that all these large companies and institutions are now trying to join the fray, trying to get their names on the list, trying to let other people know that they are associated with BlackRock and associated with the Bitcoin ETF. We live in a weird planet. We live in a very weird world. All this stuff that's been going on, but alas, I think I've exhausted the topic as far as like ranting and raving about all these people. But yeah, these companies are looking to get into the cryptocurrency space. They want to be listed as authorized participants for the Bitcoin ETF. And it's like, sure, why not? That's the ETF news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in popular news, this is a generalized flippening news. Everyone's talking about every other coin is going to be flipping every other coin. The market is gearing up, as it were, as it is known as, for alt season, altcoin season, because it's what a lot of people end up waiting for. We have seen the movements of a number of coins either exceeding expectations or unexceeding expectations. A lot of people are noticing that a lot of coins to their liking are not moving as quickly as they believe that they should. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Dogecoin gearing up to take over XRP. A lot of the market has been shifting. There are a lot of coins that are moving, but not really moving. It is always, nearly always, due to some type of price manipulation. It's just the way that things are going within all markets, but also we see this quite heavily within the cryptocurrency space. And I will tell you, as someone who has been in this market for 900.5 years, there is no reason, there is no reason why Dogecoin should ever overtake XRP. Stop it. Simply because of logic. Dogecoin, I think there are it's 5 million. I think it's 5 million new coins for Dogecoin per day, while XRP burns coins. XRP is being used by world banks and governments, and Dogecoin is a meme of a dog. We had news a year or two ago that the Dogecoin team was going to initiate smart contracts and have a metaverse and all these other things and all this development on top of the coin. But also, this is the conclusion of I don't even know how to put it into words. Our market's very weird, and people tend to move according to what they think is going to be the hypiest. There are a number of like huge coins that for some reason just aren't moving. And a lot of people don't know if the movement will begin after the halving, if it'll happen months afterwards. But if we can talk candidly here, a lot of people are a bit annoyed with XRP, Cardano, and there's two other, I can't remember them off the top of my head. There are two other major coins that for some reason aren't moving. A lot of Dogecoin's momentum, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, has to do with the perception that at some point in the future, Elon Musk might allow people to use Dogecoin on Twitter. What a lot of people, and I know that they're new to the market, what a lot of people don't realize is you can already tip and use, I think, nearly all the major coins on Twitter already. Like maybe they've been taken away. There are tipping robots on the platform that you can already use these coins on. But the perception is that Twitter at some point is going to add this as their main form of currency, and that's not going to happen. That's where a lot of the Dogecoin news and movement tends to come. I'm not joking. Like, that's usually all that Dogecoin actually has going for it. Cardano has had a number of upgrades to their system, a number of things that they say are going to come to the market. But much like XRP, the price... So, once again, candidly, the price is not moving how people expect. And to you, I say the words halving. If you weren't here the last couple of videos, we've kind of touched lightly on this topic before. These coins, altcoins, typically do not rocket, move, go crazy in price until after Bitcoin's halving. The current situation that we have right now is that Bitcoin's price has nearly tripled since last year, and people have expected altcoins to do the exact same thing in the exact same time. XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, every other coin has not, NOT had $500 million in movements, in inflows and money into their system daily. We know that for a fact. They have not had these inflows. And because these coins are not responding the way that people assumed that they were going to. There's a huge difference in numbers here. You got to talk, have a little bit of realism when you talk about how much money has been flowing into Bitcoin. Altcoins move. They will move, especially after the halving. But we are, price number wise, once again, around 9 NINE months too early. So realistically, we will probably see the previous all-time highs of a lot of the altcoins by November, December, January. And then they tend to always move up after, and this is where we get the brand new all-time highs. People keep forgetting that we're not in 2025 yet. And it's because Bitcoin has moved up so much in a short period of time. This also is where we're getting these $100,000 Bitcoin by summertime, and then 150,000 by all those things, or even the brand new one that we got for those of you who weren't here. There's someone who's predicting a $150,000 Bitcoin in 3 months. If we follow previous 3 months movements, and also just the money that they're expecting to flow into the market. But I digress. Yes, the top 10 coins, the top 20 coins are moving around all the time because there's no real solidification of any of these coins. We do not live in a world. We do not live in a world where Dogecoin is adopted by Amazon, Google, and Twitter as their main payment system. It's still all mega speculative. Same exact thing with XRP, kind of. But we know that XRP is being used by governments. It's just that I personally believe XRP has a hard time moving because there are governments collecting it. They're trying to make sure that the price is at a certain point so that they can use it for their systems. And for those of you who just rolled your eyes because you haven't been here when I said governments are using it, no, governments are actually using it. We've actually heard from the governments in the last 2 years that they plan on using it and or issuing a stable coin or some kind of coin, their country's coin, on top of the XRP blockchain. But if we're expecting the coin's prices to go up, understand that big players are also in this space. It's not just us anymore. It's not just us rubbing our hands together being like, okay, time to make some money. There are now governments and institutions and BlackRocks also in this space as well. So this was relatively popular news. A lot of people are, once again, generalized flippenings. This is no longer just a Ethereum going to flip Bitcoin kind of thing. We're seeing this taking over a lot of other situations as well. But we'll see. We have no choice but to see where time is going to go forward. The coins will move up. And I can only ask for patience. I know patience is very thin right now. Believe me, I'm also there as well. But it takes time. We usually tend to have to go through the entire year of the halving. And then the market tends to go ballistic the year after. So that is just what it is. That's the Dogecoin gearing up to take over XRP, also not worded properly. It should be overtake or take over means like they would, they're gonna. Anyway, okie dokie. Moving along. I think this news was supposed to mean more to us than it actually does. Paraguay is apparently proposing a Bitcoin mining ban. And it says that it has sparked economic concerns. It hasn't. Analysts predict millions in lost revenue, impacting the country's trade balance. A proposed bill in Paraguay aiming to ban cryptocurrency mining has raised concerns about potential economic losses exceeding $200 million annually. Lawmakers cite illegal mining operations disrupting the electricity supply as the primary reason for the proposed ban. No, that's usually a load of nonsense. What ends up happening is, what actually ends up taking place is that governments a number of years ago did not care about Bitcoin mining because they thought the industry was not going to last very long. They allowed many countries, it's not just Paraguay. They allowed essentially they, cool, do it. Plug it into the wall, allowed people to mine Bitcoin. But now these governments want money. A lot of them around the world have proposed banning it because the government has put forth some type of a taxation number, a taxation law that people simply don't want to pay. You told us we could use the electricity before and simply pay the electricity costs. But now you're trying to basically say that you need a 7%, a 15%, a 20% tax on the Bitcoin that we're mining now, because it's a very easy way for a country to be able to accumulate Bitcoin. They don't have to mine it themselves. They can get a portion of it directly from the people who are mining down the road. And the idea of the economic loss, like it has not sparked economic concerns for the everyday person. It's the economic, and I say it this way. People need, or they tend to throw this information out there to try and get the government afraid, for them to understand that they're going to lose money if this industry leaves their borders. They could potentially be losing around $200 million per year in money that they could be making from them trying to ban it. A lot of people within the cryptocurrency space, especially in the last couple of years, are trying to only use renewable sources of electricity, and even going, and I air quote here, off grid, so that they're not buying it directly from an electrical company, so that they're not putting weight and pressure on the electrical system of a country. So they tend to go into the countryside, if you get the term, to go directly to where the dams are, so that they can use the hydroelectricity directly from there, so that it's not putting a strain on the actual, you understand what I mean. So this was also everywhere. And I was like, really? I mean, to be nice, Paraguay is not typically a country that we hear from daily that has any real impact on our market. Once again, not trying to be mean. So I know it would be a pain and a half to have to move all of their computers and systems to another country, but I'm pretty sure they're in talks already. This basically goes with survival of the cryptoist. We are seeing history constantly written in front of us from these countries who don't want to play ball, who keep banning cryptocurrencies, who keep pretending like it's not a thing. And I told you before, it's the equivalent of a country pretending like they don't need the internet. They don't want the internet. We're going to ban it. We're not going to integrate it. And it's like, cool, please, but no, by all means, like, do as you wish. Because in the future, we need documentaries showing, look at what happened to this place who did not do this one thing that could have benefited them economically. What was that other country? I want to say somewhere in Eastern Europe, but it's probably not Eastern Europe. I can't remember where they are right now. They were talking about banning it for like 2 years, and then they realized that they would be making hundreds of millions. Is a country that doesn't have strong economic anything. And they realized that the hundreds of millions that they would be making was nearly as much as like their tourism per year. It's like, of course you can make time. Like, just people are okay with rules and regulations, but don't allow people to do something and then you scream that you're going to mine it, because once again, airplanes exist, buses exist, trains exist, boats exist. People can just go somewhere else and do it there legally. Anyway, so cool. I guess. I assume there are people talking and they're trying to get this all together to make everyone happy, but the countries who will win are the people who allow this within their borders and just make regulations. People are okay with being regulated. No one's talking about, remember the wild, wild west of crypto. No, just give people things that make sense. If you're going to tax them, tell them beforehand, hey, guys, we're totally cool with it. You can use, the dam is right up the river. Yeah, go use that water. There's just a 12% tax. Are you okay with that? Okay, cool. We can work together now. Don't. Anyway, that's the Paraguay is talking about a mining ban. Fantastic. Wonderful. Can't wait to see how that unfolds. Not going to be well. And yeah, let's move on. In mega, ultra, crazy, scary, intense news, Grayscale, as they've done before, has begun to shift around their other funds. So for those of you who don't know, Grayscale started out with a Bitcoin fund and an Ether fund, then a bunch of other altcoin funds as well. they have announced they have gotten rid of their Cardano and their Cosmos funds. And people aren't that happy. In a move, it says that underscores shifting investor sentiment. Grayscale Investments has removed Cardano ADA from its digital large cap fund GDLC and Cosmos Atom from its smart contract platform X Ethereum. That's a terrible name. Smart contract platform X Ethereum fund GSCPXE. The quarterly rebalancing reflects potential waning interest in these altcoins amid broader market uncertainty. Basically, they have allocated that money that they had in those funds directly back into Bitcoin and Ethereum, as they have done the wellest, not a word, over the course of the last few months. Bitcoin because of the ETFs, Ethereum because of their upgrade that they had, and also the perception that in 4 weeks, it's looking like 4 weeks, that we might have Ethereum ETFs. It's not looking too hot. As I said before, I've noticed a lot of the chatter has slowed down a bit. There's a one of the ETF managers said that normally they would be having discussions with the SEC, but there's nothing that's been going on. It's fine. Ethereum will be okay. I don't know how to say it any other way. People keep hyping up so many things, and when they don't happen, everyone gets really depressed. And it's like, no, Ether was going to be just fine. We did not need ETFs if we had them. Of course, the price was going to surge. But anyway, so yeah. But I mean, Grayscale has done this before. They've been doing this for years. I think a lot of people are new to the market, and or they're trying to stir the crypto pot by making sure that people get shocked or scared or no. So listen, was that a flower? Okay. Cardano's merits are based on its network usage, its smart contracts, don't they also have NFTs? You know, all the other things on top of the system, who's using it, yada, yada, yada. You do not need to get approval or what's the other word? You don't need to be recognized by Grayscale for your coin or your chain to do something. Because Grayscale has removed Cosmos and has removed ADA from their large cap digital market contract platform EX fund GCS PABC 123 does not mean that these coins are bad now. We had news years ago that they had also allocated some of their money that they had in Ethereum more into Bitcoin. And at some point they took money out of this one and put that into another coin. It's just what Grayscale's fund does. So much of the narrative always within the space is rich people do, we need to do. Rich people scared, we need to be scared kind of thing. It's like years ago when we had news every day about Bitcoin futures. For those of you who were not here, it was that if on Friday, if a Bitcoin futures had a Bitcoin price of $12,000 and we were at $16,000, that Bitcoin's price had to drop because of the futures. And I sat there and I was like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why do we have to move because of what these people are doing with their money? It's the same thing for this. If you believe in Cosmos, if you believe in Cardano, and you think the network is great and it's good and it's awesome, and you see the partnerships and you see the usage and you see the new daily users over and over, cool. But of course, this was very popular news. I think typically because people want to scare other people into thinking that something must be wrong, because you've heard the word Grayscale thousands of times. And if Grayscale removes something, well, something's not right. Something, of course, has to be absolutely wrong. Charles Hoskinson was also in the news, and I tip my hat in his direction because Mr. Hoskinson is usually known to rant and rave when things like this happen. But he wrote on Twitter, Wall Street give, Wall Street take. And that's basically all that it is. Logically, Cardano is probably going to move up in price during the bull run, as we have always seen before during other bull runs. It's just no longer on this fund. There are also a lot of other coins that are not on this fund. And even more so for those of you looking at the screen, I say in the nicest way possible, Solana's also part of this fund, and Solana is a literal scam. So I don't, grain of salt, I guess. Yeah, that's the Cardano and Cosmos have been taken off the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. I would personally be more concerned if like something like BlackRock got rid of their ETF. But that's just me. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. I do appreciate it. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.